Hey, what's up guys? Hopefully everybody's doing very well, and what you just heard was my take on the guitar solo in Two Princes by the Spindoctors. And Two Princes is on the 1991 Pocket Full of Kryptonite album. This solo just screams a lot of fun. It's played by Eric Schenkman and has a certain amount of no fucks given in it. And I think that's pretty cool. And though he uses mostly pentatonics, he also follows the chords of the progression quite a lot. So all in all, it's a pretty cool story, and also has a lot of valuable guitar concepts, especially the dissonant ending right there. So in this video we're going to learn how to play it, but I will also analyze the lines note by note or line by line against the chords of the progression, so you can understand the ideas and get creative with the ideas yourself. Now each line lasts for about 2 bars, and I will just first play it at the regular speed before playing it slowly and then discussing it. I will leave a link to the transcription you saw in the intro so you can follow along more easily. So I wish you all a lot of fun with this. Let's go! Here a little bit of an unnecessary disclaimer. How far you want to challenge yourself in playing someone's playing nuances exactly as it's played on the record. And this is a study itself, but yeah, it's part of the fun, I think, to really try to listen really carefully which notes are exactly picked or hammer pulled, bend release or pre-bend release, and all of these small nuances. Of course, up to you guys how far you want to challenge yourself. You also just decide to play the notes, learn from it theoretically, or study it exactly and put all the effort in it. And luckily the answers are always in the audio, and hopefully also in my transcription I try to be as correct as possible to the best of my abilities. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, the tutorial. As mentioned before, first I play the line at the regular speed, then I play it slowly, then we talk about it, and I'll play it once more. Okay, here we go, first line. Okay, let's try to analyze this. Over D we get our tonic. Dun, 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 dun. You will go to this F note here. This F note happens on the B minor. Now you could say this F doesn't really stand on B minor. It gives you flat 5. But here's what he does. He bends it out. So from F we go to F sharp, giving us a perfect 5 for B minor. So it sounds like dun 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 dun, which makes it harmonically correct. Dun 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 dun. Now this gives you our sus for A. A D is a sus for A. And then dun. He ends it on that same F. Now he doesn't really bend it, but he does it a little bit, so it doesn't really sound like this F, the flat 7 for G, but more or less. So it gives you that dominant 7 kind of a vibe. Now some might say we already find ourselves in the realm of overthinking notes, but I think this is interesting and kind of cool to do, so you can sort of scientifically explain why certain notes feel a certain way. So here is that line. Okay, so the second line follows up on the first line with the same playing idea. Here's how it goes. We played this first D slide, of course, on that line before. I mean, on that bar before. So the last count of the last chord cycle. Here goes the line. Play it once more. Maybe a little bit more slowly. So what's happening is first we play this slide. It's nothing special. We play the tonic over D. Now here we do play the F and not really bend it up to F sharp. It's not such a problem because it is more or less of a passing note. It doesn't really weigh down the change of the chord there. Now that G note is also sounding on our B chord, our B minor chord, so that gives us a flat 6 technically, but we're not going to overthink that stuff. On the A we play our A tonic, and then C, 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 D. The thing is, there's a little hint of an open G string in between, but only very short. It's pretty cool, it sounds a little bit trashy. The C does sound on the A chord, giving us a minor third, before resolving into the perfect fifth on G, which is a D note. But he plays it on the 7th position. Here goes the line once more. Now we end on the 7th position with the 3rd finger. Now we're going to start with the 1st finger on the 7th position. And we're going to play the next line. Okay, that's a pretty cool harmonic idea already, I think. What's going to happen here is we play our tonic, major 2nd, we bend our major 2nd to the 3, to the major 3rd, the tonic here all the way up is sort of capped, so it's short. And then very cleverly, of course, we play still in this key of sort of, you can think of this as D major pentatonic. Now this is happening over B minor, which gives us tonic and the minor 3rd. Now then we go to the A chord in the progression and he plays. So we bend our minor 3rd of A, cleverly half step up to the major 3rd. Which sounds pretty cool, eh? So we have. And you can play this pretty wild, it sounds cool. Now the chord progression wasn't over yet, but we will separate these lines. This is the next bit. Now you can think of this as a either D mixolydian or G major scale. It on D goes like this. Tonic, flat 7, major 6, perfect 5. It happens on the G chord, so it sounds like perfect 5th, sus, major 3rd and the major 2nd. And then we play our minor 3rd for D. We bend it up slightly to the major 3rd, so it resolves nicely on our D chord. Sounds more or less like this, right? So, back on D in our progression. So from the B minor chord he plays this. That goes into the A chord. This is pretty basic material. Tonic and minor 3rd. Now on the A chord he does this. I think this is the way he plays it is pretty funny. I think it's cool. First he plays the minor 3rd bended up half step to major 3rd. And then he plays it with a hammer on. So we have. Then we go to G in our progression. We go to D, the tonic on the 5th position, and we play a up line which will go into the mid section of the solo where the chord progression will change. He plays this. Tonic, major 2nd, slides up to the major 3rd, perfect 5. With a pull off. Tonic. So, midsection of the solo, the chord progression changes. Let's talk about this a little bit. It's pretty easy. It goes to 1 bar of G, 1 bar of D, back to 1 bar of G, then 3 bars of A. You can play this rhythmically. And the last bar is the break. Okay, the first line on that bar of G goes like this. Pretty basic major pentatonic playing. This is major pentatonic in the key of G, so to say. There goes the line again. If you want to analyze this, it's major 2nd very nicely up to the major 3rd. I mean, this is like the country style playing. Tonic. major 6 for G. Then we go to a very cool little rock line. There's also a concept that Slash tends to use a lot, I think, in his solo playing. We go into this D chord again, and now we start to overbend this perfect 5. I mean, we overbend it almost. I don't think he reaches that flat 7, but you can, you know, it sounds cool. But almost there also sounds cool. It's punk rock anyway, you know, it doesn't have to be super tight or super clean, everything. Maybe it just gives it a little bit of an extra edge if it doesn't. This is the line. You can pick all of these notes. Maybe I slided this sus to minor 3rd for D. Here goes the line again, slowly. So you can play that with a lot of attitude as well. Now, what do we have on the D? Let's say this is a flat 7, perfect 5, a little chromatic progression. So perfect 5th, flat 5, 4, minor 3rd, tonic, flat 7, perfect 5, blue note, flat 5 again, the sus, and the minor 3rd before the tonic. Right, from that D where we left over, it's important we finish that note with the 3rd finger anyway, because we're going to immediately use that to slide to our 14th position. Then we're going to do another G major line. I'm not 100% confident he plays it in that position at that particular place, but I think he does. It sounds kind of fat on the record, which sort of gives a hint that it's played on a lower set of strings. Could be, could also be like a very nice recording track that just sounds fat anyway. Let's do that a little bit more slowly. Beautiful melodic stuff. This is still happening on the D chord. So for D you could say major 6 and tonic. And there we hit our G chord, which gives us our major 6 there. That sounds nice and melancholic. Always I like the major 6. Anyway. So we have major 6, perfect 5, tonic, major 6 again. That's the major 2nd. And then we're going to bend this up to the major 3rd to take our perfect 5 there. Now we're going to the A chord in the progression, and we repeat the concept, but then in the key of A, so to say. So we modulate there as well. And then slowly. We don't really have to explain now what this is, but you could guess already. Major 2nd, major 3rd, perfect 5, tonic, and major 6, like before in G. And now we are at a cool dissonant ending section. Here's what's happening. Here is what's happening. This is on the A chord still. We bend this to our major 6, so for perfect 5 we go to major 6. Ouch! And that is our flat 7. The flat 7 sort of dissonates against this major 6. It starts to scratch because harmonically all sorts of stuff starts happening. That's a flat 2nd you hear happening there. Then the same concept with this note. This is a major 2nd bended to major 3rd. And we play our sus against that, the sus 4. Now I saw him done this with hybrid picking, but you can actually use a normal picking style with this as well. I use a normal picking style with this. Okay, then the last bit is this. This is actually a little bit of a tricky part to play it exactly as it's done on the record. So here it is again. Try to do it slowly. Now for a better timing perspective, let's go over that whole section again, including that dissonant part. Something like that. Thank you very much for watching this, and please feel free to leave a comment here below. Let me know if this was useful to you or if it wasn't, as I'm always eager to learn and improve my content making skills. I certainly had a lot of fun making this video. So please take care, behave, and we'll see each other soon.